Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Priscilla here with Priscilla's Philosophy, Psychology, and Smart Dudes. So I'm super excited today. If you haven't followed me already, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you haven't, come on over. We're super fun, super smart. So today we're in for a super special treat because I just received a package from Chicago University. Yay! So let's unbox this now. I got it right here. Yay! Super cute. So let's unbox it. So it looks like today, what are we unboxing? Oh, we are unboxing Lawrence Kohlberg. Slay, Psychology Queen. Look at that. So cute. All right, so let's jump right in. So, as of today, Mr. Kohlberg himself was born in Bronxville, New York. He is the son of two immigrant parents, Alfred and Charlotte Kohlberg. In his youth, he did graduate from Phyllis Academy in Massachusetts, and he also served in the Merchant Marines for the United States. So basically what that means, because I did have to do a little research, this means his job was to smuggle Jewish war refugees into Palestine, and through the British blockade. However, in 1948, he was intercepted and imprisoned in the British internment camps in Cyprus. However, he's a smart guy. So earlier that same year in 1948, he actually escaped with other inmates. And what better thing to do with your freedom than go to school? So he actually signed right up, and I think they sent me something for this too. There you go. He actually signed up for the University of Chicago. Yes. So with this, he actually received his bachelor's degree in 1 year. Yeah, 1 year. Not two, no, uno, not dos. Which to me is crazy impressive. So that just proves how smart he is and how dedicated he was to his craft. He got his BA in psychology, and then from there, he actually ended up getting his master's at the University of Chicago, and then went over to his doctoral degree for psychology at Harvard. And this is where he meets his mentor, Jean Piaget. And this is where he falls heavily in love with child development. And I think they sent me something for that too. So let's take a look. There you go, they did. Ketchup! So, what the Hein ketchup represents is that while he fell in love with child's moral development, he was fascinated how children reacted to certain circumstances, and from there was born the Heinz dilemma. And for some of you wondering what that is, if we're not sure, what that is basically he took 72 boys from the middle to upper class to kind of run his experiments. So, what he did is he went ahead and worked with Jean. And so, what is the Heinz dilemma? So, Mr. Heinz, this is just a story they tell the children. Mr. Heinz goes to the doctor with his wife. Now, his wife is super, super sick. And the medicine that they need to get for his wife, keep in mind she's dying, is very expensive. So he asked the doctor, he's like, can we lower it? Is there anything we can do? And at this point, he knows he can't afford it. So he's begging, he's pleading, and the doctor says, unfortunately, that's not something he can do. It's not, he doesn't have authority to either increase or decrease the price. So at that point, he is groveling and he's like, please, thinks of, an outside of the box. He's like, I can pay in installments. Is that something we can do? And again, unfortunately, the doctor says no. So Mr. Hines and his wife unfortunately go back home. And as Mr. Hines is sleeping on it, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna steal it. So he breaks into the doctor's office and he steals the medicine. And this is the dilemma that their kids are given. And again, this is the Heinz dilemma. And so now the question for you guys is, if this was you, would you be okay with that? Would this be more of a, well, I mean, he didn't have the money. No, it's illegal to break into someone's, place of business. It's breaking and entering, it's theft. And others would be like, well, she's dying. So if he's gonna go to jail, he'd rather go to jail and save his wife. Or would you be more like, no, he should have figured something else out or found a way to earn the funds. So in retrospect, it's like, so what does that have to do with anything? So what that is, so for Lawrence, the what he would do is the way he would figure out how someone is morally developed comes in three stages. So let's see what those are. A ruler. So the first level is pre-conventional morality. What is that? So again, this is level one. Mr. Kohlberg had, or Professor Kohlberg had three levels to break that down, and each level has two stages. So stage one is conventional morality. And then level one is obedience and punishment. So behavior driven by avoiding punishment. So if I were to take someone's hat, I would be punished for it because it is not mine. I am stealing. I could go to jail. Or if I stole it off of a classmate, then I could probably get expelled because I'm pretty sure you can get expelled for stealing. So that is level one. Again, just basic overall. It's obedient and punishment. It's doing not doing something out of to avoid being punished for it. So again, obedience and punishment is level one, and this is just behavior driven by avoiding punishment. So what is level two? Let's find out. We have another thing in here. Found it. Gummies, candy. So level two is individual interest, behavior driven by self-interest and rewards. So this is when kids, will follow the sticker star system. And that's what kind of drives them. Like they want to be rewarded, they want the praise, they want to know that they did a good job. Sometimes you have little charts in the classroom. That's where that comes from. And now we're moving on to level or stage two, which is conventional morality. So what comes in level two? So in level three, stage two, that is interpersonal. So behavior driven by social approval, which I think we have something for that as well. Here we go. And that is social approval brought to you by Facebook, not sponsored. So this is when we think of it of how will others see me for the decisions that I make? Will they think I'm cool for stealing the hat? Will they think I'm an absolute jerk because I took something that's not mine, right? So it goes one or the other ways, but it's how you want to be perceived and the thought of how you're being perceived by someone else. So after that comes authority, which is behavior driven by obeying authority and confronting to the norm. So this is like, again, back to the Heinz dilemma. Will he go to jail? Was it the right thing to do? Was it the wrong thing to do? And I think I have something in here for that as well. Mm, There we go. Got a little police badge. So again, this is behavior driven by obeying the authority and conforming to the norms. So we want to follow the rules, whether we're in school, whether we're at work or in public. Again, when we go to a store and we see the newest bag and maybe it's not in our budget, we don't just steal it. We either go on a payment plan or like, hey, you know what? I can budget for this later, or it's not something I need. I'll get it some other time, or I'll see it for Christmas, or maybe I just don't want it. It's not something I'm willing to trade my time and money for a purse. So next we're moving on to stage three, which is post-conventional morality. So what does that fall for on level five? So level five is a social contract. So this stage is the last stage. So we went past stage one, which is the pre-conventional morality. Again, that first one is obedience and punishment, where we're doing things to not or to avoid punishment, versus level two, which we are doing it for self rewards or self interest. And now we have moved past stage two, which is that interpersonal. So we want to be, liked by others. So we're careful about how we do things because we are mindful of how we are perceived. And then authority, again, going back to the Heinz example about how he stole from the doctor's, place of work, and he stole the medicine. That that you will go to jail because you have stolen something, and it was very expensive. So yeah, now we are finally on stage three, which is that post-conventional morality. And that goes to level five. So level five is the social contract. Again, behavior driven by the balance of social order and individual rights, which I know I have something to that here too. And bam, we have the scales here. If no one's here is familiar with what this is basically it's what I call the scales of justice. So it is scaling out what is right and what is wrong. So this is behavior driven by balance or social order of individual rights. Um, and then for this one, for social contract, this is when, we realize that sometimes the law does have to be broken to do the right thing. Again, the main example going back to Heinz, that Heinz example, that Heinz dilemma is maybe he was doing the right thing. His freedom was worth breaking the law to save his wife. So for him, he values his wife's life more than he values his freedom, and he knows what goes behind it. So he knows, and that's level five, is understanding that sometimes the rules are meant to be broken. And finally, level six, which is my personal favorite, we have universal ethics and behavior driven by intermoral principles. Again, we're going to that word again, inter, meaning inside. This is your personal perspective. Now, in Lawrence's notes, he has written that this is something that is rarely achieved. For this, people that reach that internal moral principle for themselves is like Mother Teresa, Gandhi, um, and again, we're back to that universal ethics, behavior driven by intermoral principles. So this is not something that's very often gained by individuals within their lifetime. And keeping in mind that stages one, two, and three, all of these stages, all of these levels are the three main stages that we follow throughout our lifetime. So sometimes people will get stuck on level three or level four. That is where most people are. Um, but level six would be that last one. So people that fall into this category are people like Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr. They believe that it is right for everyone. So this goes for principles that fall for everyone, looking over, the world, every person that falls into whatever it is that they are driven by, whether it be religion, politics, or just, you know, you just any kind of movement that doesn't involve one person or party, but the world as a whole. And I think that is like the nirvana, if you will, of this moral development. So again, most of us do get stuck in stage two, and that's perfectly fine. Like, we understand what is socially approved, what's socially acceptable, obeying the authority norms, perfectly fine. And then some of us, which actually Lawrence Kohlberg said that he wasn't sure about how people would be on stage three, which I find very interesting. So we have, his studies and his notes, and he's actually written 7 books, which I think is crazy interesting. So yeah, not impressed. It was already pretty impressive that he got his bachelor's within a year, and then he got his PhD, his master's, and all that. So hey. So yeah, that is it for Lawrence. I can go ahead and see if we got anything else. No, that was it. So yeah, that was it. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. But that is all I have today for Lawrence Kohlberg. Again, this was super, super fun to do. If you guys want to know more, please write it down in the comments below, and we can go ahead and get another unboxing video for someone else. And this is Priscilla. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Until then, have a great day. Bye.